Another thing, and this is not going to be said anywhere else.
Exclusive.
We are
Exclusive.
re-recording everything that we've already done.
Really?
Because I've listened to some of my vocals, and I know I can do better if I'm stoned at this point. I'm not going to get stoned. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm going to get stoned and I'm going to do better. I'm going to do so much better if I get stoned. No, that's not it. I'm saying that even if I was stoned now, and that would put me absolutely out, I would be so incapable, I would still sing better now, compromised, than I did at my best back then.
Uh-huh.
So I really want to make sure that if I'm going to put something out there, and it's going to be for the people, they should get the best of what they're getting, especially since we're not using auto-tune. I can promise you, especially from a music marketing standpoint, the people who genuinely love music are in such a minority, because people get caught by just sound waves. And especially if you go from like the loudness war approach, don't worry, that's just a problem for older producers. The loudness war is basically, since the 90s, music has been released at slightly louder volumes.
Huh.
I didn't even know that.
I did not.
Yeah, and I really wish it wasn't called the loudness war, even though that's exactly, when you know what the concept is, you're like, oh yeah, that is what it is. I just wish it didn't sound like a conspiracy theory. But it's just a problem. It was a really annoying problem for the producers, because they knew that as they released albums and songs and singles at louder relative decibel volumes, that might be redundant, but that as they released it more and more and more and more and more, you got farther away from what was considered the best, the best standard for music production.
Mm-hmm.
Good quality of music production was being left in the dust, because they found out, hey, if you just release stuff that's louder and louder, people will think it's better and they'll listen to it that way. And it's an interesting thing, because right now we should be at the convergence point where you can only go so far, because you can't expand the capacity of the track. So once you get to a point where the master track is so saturated, it'll just sound like... And we already have crossed that threshold sometimes, and you just... It's so hard. So, I mean, there's a lot of ways that we have abandoned what is considered the gold standard for music, for good music production and good composition. And especially from the composition front, we want to be on the forefront of what we think is the best. And as progsters, progressive music, progressive rock music, instead, if you don't know what prog is, not the city Prague. We're very music elitist. Like, we think we're the best, because if you ask us, we'll say we are the best, you know? Because if you're like just a 4-on-the-floor drummer and then you take out Mike Portnoy, get ready to be destroyed. It's inhumane what you would do. You know, you put a regular drummer up next to Portnoy.
Yeah.
Because even when Portnoy is just playing in 4/4, he's a monster. Same thing with like Neil Peart, but Neil Peart was from Rush, and that's another progressive rock band. So I don't know. I guess that we want to make it for a reason. Everybody wants to be a rock star, but we want to be a rock star. We all want to be rock stars to achieve something, to make waves, and to change something. That's big.
That's awesome. Where can people like find your music? You have a website. I know you have Facebook.
Do we have a website anymore? I should get one. Yeah. How about I get one for you people?
There you go. Get it?
Yeah.
Make it in 2 weeks and then we'll link it.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah,
What else have I've done crazier things. I learned CAD in 3 days, so I can do that. That was a stupid 3 days. But yeah, you can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, and actually everything else, because there are some platforms we're on that I've never even heard of. If you're on Tidal, hey.
We will link definitely the Spotify at least, and probably...
And be sure to show them the logo.
Oh yeah, there you go. Show
They're
I can pop that up.
Good deal. Right over me face.
Yeah, just send it to Mike's phone, and we'll be golden.
I'm gonna on your face.
Yeah, you're gonna put it on.
It's tilted around.
This has been a fantastic podcast.
It's been absolutely amazing. Once that album drops, I'd love to have you back on, talk about it.
Maybe it'll be a while. I don't know. It depends on what happens.
Yeah.
The social media marketing thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. I mean,
It's our
we're
least favorite thing to do.
we're trying to figure it out now here and try to get bigger. We're seeing some great growth, but it's not easy. But it's fun, like working together as a group of guys and
Yeah.
towards looking for purpose.
Yeah.
We're on the Manifest Light right
Purpose,
now,
man.
and
Yeah.
we're trying to get to that deep flavor.
And we will get to that deep flavor. But
Oh, yeah.
this has been
I
fantastic.
think now there's going to be a song called Deep Flavor.
All right, guys. Well, this has been podcast number 375. We're out.
That's
You had 374 other blokes in there.
That's good. Nah, totally not.
that was
That was awesome. 50.
Come on,